Hi, everybody. Pastor Kevin back with you, and we're continuing our series here at Living Word Fellowship on the book of Song of Songs. This is week 6 of our study, and this week we visited a phrase that's repeated several times throughout this book. The phrase is, "Do not awaken love until it so desires." We see this in chapter 2, we see it in chapter 3, we see it again in chapter 8. Each time the young lady is describing this passion she has for this young man. And it's almost like she pauses and turns towards the camera and says, "But do not awaken love until it so desires." Almost like a warning. This morning we talked about 3 Hebrew words for love in Song of Songs. The first one is raya, and it describes friendship, it describes affection. It's people who enjoy each other's company, companionship, raya. The second word is ahaba, and this is a strong desire emotionally for each other. It's like the first level a little bit deeper, a little bit more advanced. And then the third word is the word dode, and this is the sexual desire. It means to boil, it means to fondle, to rock. And each level of love is another advancement in the relationship. Which brings us to a discussion about relationships. Many of the times our problems in relationships, especially in our culture, is that we skip 1 or 2 of these 3 words. But God created humans, us, to have all 3 in equal proportion together. Just dode love, just sexual, physical love, without the commitment, the friendship, and the emotional commitment is cheap. It makes you feel used. It's what pornography is. Each level of love is a building block of the other. And when you get to the third and you have the other 2 in place, you have a beautiful, hot flame of love. And so the progress naturally goes from raya love, we enjoy each other's company, to ahaba love, where I now have an emotional desire for you, and that requires me to be selfless. I now care for your well-being. And then finally, there's a commitment that happens in marriage, and we enter dode love, the physical, sexual part of love. And so in your home groups this week, and in your family, with your spouse, I want to invite you to discuss this concept of the 3 types of love and what it really looks like in a natural relationship. Ask yourself some questions. Have you ever had your heart stomped on? Have you ever felt used and abandoned and cheated? Sometimes when you find out that the person you thought loved you never even liked you in the beginning, you're left wondering, what do I have? I feel like I'm used then. Ask yourself, can you think of other different characteristics of the 3 love words? What does it look like to be in raya love? And then how do you know when it's time to advance to ahaba love? A friend to a courting, a romance. And then finally, when do you know when it's okay to continue to dode love? When does the commitment happen? And finally, why do you think this young lady puts warnings throughout the book of Song of Songs? Why do you think she shares right in the middle of deep passion and urge and desire? She stops and says, "But make sure it's time. Don't rush into it." Why do you think that is? See, when we study this book, 3,000 years old, we find out it speaks to us today. I want to encourage you to listen along on the audio link at livingwordfellowship.net. And continue to join us each week as we go through this book together. God bless.